It is a massively important time to pay attention to what's going on in the markets. Let's talk about it. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. And do you know what you get when you mix the Piano Man with Michael Jordan? You get a Billy Goat. All right, if you're anywhere around my age and you got to grow up listening to Billy Joel sing Piano Man or watching Michael Jordan be the greatest of all time in basketball, which, mind you, by the way, you're welcome to change my mind. I'm not that much of a basketball fan, but you can still leave a comment down in the or you can leave a comment for me for this video, and you can even put a hashtag 90s kids. Maybe you're an 80s kid. I don't know, whatever it is. Hit me up down in the comments. Let's move on to the charts from there. So SPY, check this out. We are currently still up above the 50-day. Excellent momentum, looking good in the pre-market, selling off a little bit. So we struggled a little bit yesterday. Could see a little bit more struggle today. I don't know that we're going to move a lot from where we're at. We're going to have to see. It is highly important if we're going to continue upward on this market that we stay up above that 50-day. And we are getting the EMA crosses right now that are still showing that we're in bullish territory. That upward is that direction that we're still likely headed overall, even if it's not necessarily on a daily basis, over maybe a weekly basis that we see that happen. Now, mind you, CPI next week is going to be huge to watch for that. And we also had, I believe, energy prices up in April, so that's not necessarily good for getting a lower read. As per the headline numbers that we see, we'll see when those core prices come out, even though energy bleeds its way into the core prices as well. So let's move over from there on to QQQ. Very similar chart that we're looking at here, that we're still above the 50-day. Momentum's looking good, that it still continues to build. We'll see if we hesitate a little bit more. We've had quite a run over just the past few days, up several percent on SPY and QQQ, both. IWM, we're tracking the Russell 2000, once again above the 50-day, getting a high top wick yesterday. So even though we had a green candle, we closed higher than we opened. We still hit a high price, and then it retreated significantly from where that was at. So for the overall markets right now, still in bullish territory. What we're really looking for is we're looking for that higher high to come in, and we just need to get up to those previous highs and retest them to see what exactly is going on. So if we fail to break that higher high, we could possibly double top and head back down. So then it's a question of, okay, where do we find support? Do we put in a lower low, or do we put in a higher low? Because if we put in a higher low with that double top, we could actually be squeezing, putting upward pressure on that resistance and breaking upward from there. Once again, inflation reports are going to be one of those things that's going to be highly impactful. Jobs too, consumer sentiment on Friday at 10 a.m. You'll want to be watching for that one from the University of Michigan. That's also going to, in my opinion, be highly impactful, because the more the consumer should sour on the economy, or the more that they should have a favorable outlook on the economy, especially where we're at right now where there's a lot of questions, I think it's going to be quite a market catalyst when that comes out, if it's far away from the previous readings that we got. Moving on from there to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently operating in a bearish channel. We'll see where it goes. It's below the 50-day, which is bearish, above the 200-day, which is bullish. The daily momentum that we have on this is actually down below 50, so we'll see if it continues to decline. If it does, we could get a further sell, so we want to be watching for that for Bitcoin to see where exactly that goes in the near term. If we do sell down to the 200, or if we come off the bottom of this channel, we could see, once again, a rapid rise come into that. If we break out through the top of the channel, especially above the 50 that we have on here, which is this thin blue line that we have right here just across the top of that channel, which you can see we failed to break. We hit the top of the bearish channel. We stuck down below the 50 still. So currently in the short term, still heading in bearish direction for Bitcoin. We're going to have to watch and see what happens with that. Again, breaking the top of the channel, bullish for us, especially if we push up above that 50-day. If we break down through the bottom of this channel, that's an even further bearish thing. Got to be watchful for that. So on the daily right now for Bitcoin, still heading south for the time being, unless we happen to turn around and break resistance. So moving over to end phase. End phase important today because of yesterday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, now a fifth time getting rejected off this trend line, also getting rejected by the 200-day, also getting rejected off the 50-day, and these are both simple moving averages. So the exponential moving averages are actually still looking rather bullish. However, even the RSI is above 50, but it went flat on us. So we have a bullish momentum, but has gone flat. It's not still building for us, so that's not necessarily great. On a daily basis, the last 3 days, we got high top wicks all around those moving averages. The price is still slowly building. That yesterday we were pretty much even with the day before. So from Monday to Tuesday, down 0.13%. So honestly, I think there might be a little bit more pain for solar before we find that rosy time coming in. So we might have to go through a little bit of economic pain and really look for those rate cuts for when they're going to happen. And that question is it going to be pushed down the road, which is going to take even longer for interest rate sensitives like Enphase in order to benefit. So while that question's in there, we could be heading back down south, especially because just look at all this resistance. We have three different, we have the trend line resist and we have the moving average resistances, and so far getting rejected again. We could possibly push back down from here all the way back down to 106. Seems to be about an area where we catch support. So I'm going to say 106 to 110, somewhere in there. If we break down below that down to 100, which you can see that we actually get some pretty significant buying pressure as we start to get down near that 100 mark. Moving over to Tesla. The important thing about Tesla today, again, looking at where we were put at yesterday and where the pre-market puts us, let me actually take down some of these other moving averages that are on here. We'll also take down the Bollinger Bands so that you can see more clearly this 50-period simple moving average that we're above, which is a bullish thing. However, in longer term trend, we're down below the 200, which is bearish. We need to keep this 50. If we retest this support on the 50-day simple moving average right around 174, 175, we could have significant upside coming off this. That would be a very bullish thing for us. And then we have to look up ahead, up above that we keep on selling off. 185 to 187 seems to be a significant area of resistance for us where it keeps pushing us back down. You can see that through all these candles that you have through here in this narrow body candle that we have as well, that there's a lot of indecisiveness, a lot of contention between the bulls and the bears right around those prices. So watch that 50. If we pushed back down below it, then we're looking for a retest from the 50 as resistance to send us back down lower. I'm a long-term investor in Tesla, so as we get those weaker prices, to me, it's an opportunity to dollar cost average. And if I expect a bigger movement coming up in either direction, that's usually where I employ options, either calls or puts. So last thing, NVIDIA, still holding tight to my $1,000 prediction right now. And the markets, they're going to influence. I said sideways is going to be somewhat helpful. I still think we can get there. Markets trade up from where they're at right now. I think that's going to be a significant boost to being able to reach this prediction by their earnings on May the 22nd. We are up above the 900. We're actually retesting it in pre-market time here. We'll see if we open above 900 and we stay above 900. That can be a very good thing for us. If it turns out that we're just going to peekaboo above this and head back down, then we're looking for this trend line support that you have right here coming across your screen. So for NVIDIA, we're going to have to watch and see what happens. If the market should happen to sell down, that makes it harder. It's like the floor lowering that you're in an elevator and heading down with it. And so you're trying to jump in that elevator, trying to go up, and you just feel that gravity pulling down on you. It makes it feel like you can't jump at all. It's going to be sort of that way with what we have with NVIDIA's stock price, that as that floor drops, that as the tide goes out, it's going to affect the multiples that NVIDIA trades at as well. So sideways or up is going to be a lot easier to hit that $1,000 mark prior to or just after earnings for NVIDIA than if the market should happen to sell off. So we're going to have to watch for that as well. So guys, that's the commentary that I have for you. Those are the stocks that I'm watching right now, along with the overall markets themselves, S&P, Nasdaq 100, and also the Russell 2000 stocks. And I think there's significant opportunity in front of us, whether up or down. We just got to keep on watching for what the market's signaling to us on a technical basis. If you want to see my buys and sells and how I'm playing this market, there's a link down in the description for the Patreon. Click that, sign up, join me and my community members over in the Discord where I post my buys and sells. You can also talk to us throughout the trading day. And then also, if you want to learn to do technical analysis like I do, there's a link for the technical analysis trading course down in the description as well. Go ahead and click that, sign up for the course, and join the community that's over there as well. And thank you guys, as always, for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hit me up down in the comments. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.